Hello everyone, nice to see you. Today we'll make a focus on how to produce wallpapers. I mean vinyl wallpapers and non-woven wallpapers. So let's start with the vinyl. First of all, we have to define which texture we need to show. For example, we can decide to make an imitation of wood, of silk, like here with la soie. We can decide to make something else. So the first step is the definition of the texture we want to show. The second step is to engrave the cylinder. When you engrave the cylinder, the engraver has a huge responsibility. On the quality of the engravement depends the final quality of the wallpaper. So the engraver makes some very small holes on the top of the cylinder. The diameter of the holes is between 0 and 10 microns. So we have to know that you need one color. For one color, you need one cylinder. If on the wallpaper the design needs 5 colors, we will need for the production 5 cylinders. The machine is usually from 6 to 8 cylinders. For CASAMANCE, we use usually maximum 7 colors. The second step of the printing for the rotogravure is the preparation of the wallpaper. I mean the preparation of the vinyl. We take the vinyl, which is very flat. We paste it on a non-woven basis. Before we used to do it on a paper basis, but as non-woven is much more easier to unpaste on the wall, and the stability is much better with non-woven than with the paper, we have decided 5 years ago to produce only vinyl on non-woven. It's very easy to recognize if the vinyl is pasted on a non-woven or on a paper basis. For instance, we take our Latwell vinyl collection. Here is the vinyl, and on the back is the non-woven, which color is white. With paper, the color is more yellow. So at that stage, the vinyl is still flat, without any texture. The third step on the production is the printing of the wallpaper. So here it's very easy to understand how it's going on when you look at this small picture. We have the cylinder, you see with the small holes, going inside a batch with ink. The ink must be very transparent, because she has to stay here in the small holes. Here we have a tool which put away the additional ink we doesn't need, and then by rotation the ink is put on the wallpaper, which is symbolized by this white line. Here we have a cylinder who press on the wallpaper to fix the ink on the material. And the final process is that the wallpaper will be dried separately to fix definitely to fix the ink on the wallpaper. One of the last process for the production of the vinyl wallpaper is that we need to get the texture. So you remember the vinyl was flat, and now we want a vinyl which is like this, with a good texture, a dip. So for this, we put the wall covering in a press that will fix by high temperature, that will change the texture of the vinyl to get this effect. And because of this, you can have many different textures. Any texture you want, you can get it. For instance, here we have silk. Here we have like fabric. last operation is done to avoid joints when you paste the wallpaper on the wall. So we cut on the diagonal the wallpaper. So when you paste it, you will not see the white line that can be visible. So what are the advantages of the roto printing for vinyl wallpapers? First of all, the choice of the texture. As we have seen, we can choose to make some silk, some fabrics, some wood, everything we need. Then the colors, a big choice of color. Then the precision, it is almost like digital printing. The quality is almost the same. And at least the quality of ink, which is ink with water, UV lights, so it is quite ecological. So the second technology concerns the non-woven. So here we use the screen printing technology. Let's have a look on the picture. Very simple. We have this cylinder, which is empty. Inside we put ink, and the ink will go through the small holes by pressure. Here we have a tool which press on the ink, so it goes through the small holes to be pasted on the wallpaper, which is symbolized by this yellow line. Then the non-woven goes into an oven which dries the wallpaper on a very high temperature. It's about 250 degrees to blow the ink. And then the result is like this. We have a look on it. So here we can have a look at the relief, which is done because of this blowing by gas. It's like gas which blows the ink. It's like, you will see here, it gives a volume on it, so there is some relief you can touch. Here, which are the advantages of the screen printing? They are quite different because the ink is totally different. It's not ink with water. We need to add some additional products, some vinyl products also, to fix the ink on the non-woven, because non-woven is fibers which are not woven, like from cellulose, for instance. So the ink is totally different than the ink of the vinyl. But we have advantage of it. The first one is that you can have some very soft material which looks like more vintage, which gives some vintage effect. It's not shiny like can be sometimes the vinyl. And we can use different type of ink, like the grit ink, which is like an ink with sand. And also it's like a more natural look. There is another point we wanted to talk about. It is why we use digital printing. So do you remember that we need, for one color, we need one cylinder? Usually the printing machine are from 6 to 8 maximum. For CASAMANCE we use machine which have 7 cylinders maximum. So what can we do when we need more than 7 colors? We have to use digital printing, because the biggest advantage of the digital printing is that we can use as many colors as we want. The second advantage is concerns the size of the repeat. With HELIOGRAVURE and with screen printing, we are limited in the repeat by the circumference of the cylinder. With the digital printing, we can have very big repeat, which is a huge advantage. Because sometimes we have big walls, so if we use standard wallpapers, we will have a lot of repeats. With the digital printing, we will not have this issue. And the two last points we wanted to highlight concern the ecology and the contract market. You have to know that all our wallpapers are fire retardant. Vinyl has non-woven. So here we certificate that they pass European test and American certification. So you can use vinyl and non-woven wallpapers for contract business. All our collection pass the test, the standard. And the last point concerns ecology. Sometimes people tell me, oh, vinyl are not ecological. I say, why do you think like this? We can have a look on the back of our collections. We have this logo type A+. A+ is the best certification that proves that they are ecological. It's an obligation. We have to do it by the law. We cannot sell wallpapers if we don't indicate on the book, on the catalog, if the vinyl is A+, A, B, or C. That means that nothing bad for health is going outside from the material. We have these for vinyl as for non-woven. You see, this is a non-woven collection, A+, and this is a vinyl collection, also A+. I hope this video was interesting. If you have additional questions, please contact us. We'll be very happy, very glad to help you. And have a nice and safe day. Goodbye.